like, sometimes I'll read the news, but I have to be honest with you. I'm back to just wanting to not be in the news. I want to think about what's wonderful about California. And yes, I love California, even though I just have to laugh at some of the ridiculous comments that people will leave because the hatred of California is just like, it's like, for some people, they just really hate California, man. They just have to hate it. Like some guys, like California vomits, and I'm like, I don't know. Is California a cat that goes out on the lawn and eats grass? Yeah, you're funny. Anyway, California orange, yes. Dollar Tree lip gloss, very questionable. This is so cute, but well, I can actually open it now, but I struggled for like a good. Am I opening it? It's so cute though. I think it pops off. Oh no! I wanted to go down the sink. Okay. It looks like an ice cream cone. It's very cute, but I think it's just supposed to pop off and all. That's why I was struggling with it. But anyway, very cute. I don't like to touch lip gloss to my fingers though, so I just was kind of rubbing it on my lips. It will stay home with me. I'm not going out and about. California oranges, like homegrown or just, these were off some of these trees that they brought us. They're just like the best. They're better than store oranges. Like, I get kind of giddy. I was in orange heaven on Saturday when I was eating one. There was just so much juice coming out of the orange as I was peeling it. So good. Somebody, like, they gave us like pounds and pounds of oranges. So I took a couple home with me. Oh my gosh. I like it when they get a little ripe though and the skin gets thinner. Because I don't use anything to peel. Like when I was younger, I was taught to use orange peelers and all these devices. But no, I changed my mind on that. So I like to eat oranges when my hands are super clean. And then I just like to really get in there. And this is why I like the orange to get a couple days old sometimes because it makes it easier to peel. And I just get in there and I take the orange peel off. You have to wash your hands afterwards. And this is something you have to do like when your hands are super clean. And it smells really good though. This is still a good orange. It's not quite as juicy as the other one was, but the other one was amazingly juicy. It's just really good. My eyes are watering. It's a really good orange. I've just been celebrating all the beautiful things about California. For example, the eagle babies. There's two bald eagles, and they have successfully nested and have 3 little chicks that they're feeding fish to out of Big Bear Lake. It's amazing. You can watch them on webcam 24/7. If you go on YouTube right now and you type in Big Bear Eagle Cam, you can watch them all day long. They're so cute. And it was so amazing watching how they use their talons to separate the fish and feed the babies. Well, they chew it up first, but I felt like I was kind of learning things yesterday about eagle behavior. And people are like, oh, we're closer to animals than we used to be. I think in the past people were closer to animals in a way, but I think now, because civilization has encroached on a lot of their environment, we're realizing we need to be steward to animals, right? And some animals have actually adapted, like birds. We have so many birds in the city, and they kind of have no fear of humans. Like, I've been seeing how close I can get to the birdies, okay? I have a little bit of a hobbyist YouTube channel called Birdie Time, and I'm getting pretty close to some birds, like closer than I ever did when I was living up in the San Bernardino Mountains. Down here in the San Bernardino Valley, park birds really don't have any fear. I think they should, but look, you can get pretty close to them. Same along with the little squirrels. That orange was just so good. It's really, really good. like to juice oranges. I don't know. I was thinking I could make a juicing concoction. To have some grapefruit. I need to use that. And grapefruit can be kind of astringent. Hot. Some grapefruit. Just a thought about something to do with grapefruit. Hi, how are you doing? I don't know why you have a skull on the chat. Are you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital? So maybe we'll make a grapefruit type concoction. Because grapefruit can be, I like grapefruit and I love how acidic it is, but I find, just squeeze myself with grapefruit. I find a hard time eating one all at once. Like I can eat half of one, but then it just kind of lapse. Golly, I need my glasses because I'm blind as a bat right now. I'm just bonking around blind as a bat. That doesn't really work. For me, anyway. Blind as a bat. Some of my nearsighted vision, I don't know, my dad swore to me that when he got a little bit older that he didn't need glasses anymore. I'll tell you this, my nearsighted vision's a little bit better than it was a few years ago. It just seems to be a little bit better, but in general, I definitely still need glasses. It's kind of hard because it's been sitting in the fridge for a couple days. I think I'm gonna make a little concoction, but I'm gonna add a little. Let's rinse them off a little bit. Do a good rinse, 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 rinse. I still feel like I do. I have like a, ooh. Hopefully it doesn't explode everywhere. I have an old pomegranate. It's not old, it's just been in my fridge for a couple months. It was a little baby pomegranate off somebody's tree, so it's not like, it's not one of the ones like from the store that are big. Locally grown. should have done something with it earlier, but I can kind of reconstruct it a little bit. Rinse it off before I start cutting it. Just get it nice and clean. Kind of. Oh, I don't think it's good anymore. Yeah, let's see. Oh, well, I waited too long. It's okay. I have another pomegranate. It's not the end of the world. Thank you. Well, I just feel sad, but I should have used it earlier. And it's been sitting there. Ooh! It says these are California grown. Most pomegranates are grown in California. Actually, a lot of the produce that you get in the grocery store is from the Central Valley of California, which used to be one big lake, like in the center of California, but over the millennia, it began to evaporate. Yes, California is a very fascinating and interesting place. I love learning more about the world, actually. But you see, on this channel, I want to share, like, of course, there's negative things that happen in the world, but I want to share, like, interesting things too, because right now we live in a time where people love to rage bait, and I hate the rage, but you know what? You gotta rage against the bait, friends. You gotta rage against the bait, because like, for instance, okay, I saw this one channel, and I thought it was kind of sad, honestly, because I didn't realize who the people were that were running this channel, but like 14, 15 years ago, this person was producing really interesting videos just about literature and just different fun things, and I thought, wow, some of their content was really good. Like, but then I saw recently, you know, whatever kind of content you want to make in life, that's on you, friends. But then recently, it just seemed like all their content was very politicized, but not in a healthy kind of way. It was kind of like, I don't know. It was alt-right pipeline stuff, which I'm going to be honest with you. Rational people don't like alt-right pipeline. They just don't. Rational people aren't going to interview alt-right pipelines people, because these people are rage baiters. They're kind of like, I feel like he's kind of fallen out of favor. I don't even remember this guy's name, but I can't believe I don't remember his name. But he used to exaggerate on, he had like a YouTube channel where he made up a lot of things, and he was just very exaggeratory, and I think they didn't let him post on YouTube after a while, and even Mark Rubio didn't like him. That's an example of how alt-right he was. Like, even the establishment Republicans, they didn't like this guy, because he's just real out there type of dude. And he was taken to court by his ex-wife because she said that he was being like bad influence for the children. And then he said in court, this is what he said in court. He said, oh, it's not really Alex Jones, that was his name, Alex Jones. I had to think about it for a minute. So Alex Jones said in court, when his ex-wife was like suing him for like custody, he said, well, you know, that's just a character I play. That's not real. Like, he literally said in court that all those videos that he made, like and this was like infancy time of alt-right pipeline. Yes, it was hilarious. Even Mark Rubio didn't like him. He was like that off the rails, right? He said it was made up. Like, he admitted in court, this is just a character that I'm playing for views. Yeah, this is made up. So if Alex Jones could admit that, then maybe your favorite alt-right characters that are promoting something really crazy like eugenics, which has a horrible history, or anything like that, maybe they're made up characters. Which at the end of the day, I want to say that they are, although I just can't get behind, like, Alex Jones was crazy, but I don't know if he's as crazy as they are. But at least with Alex Jones, like, he could admit it. I don't know if these new characters, they don't admit it, but whatever. Like, some people just think, like, wow, these people are really exciting. And this is a true story, okay? So, there's this lady I respect, and this is how this came to my radar. Like, there's somebody on, I don't even go on Facebook that much, but I've been kind of looking at it more recently. There's a lady, I really respect her a lot. She is very intelligent, and she posted something about how to stop covering these characters. Because the characters are made up. And somebody that I used to kind of know popped up and said, oh, I interviewed these people like a few months ago. And I was like, oh, he did? Of course he did. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't get it. But, you know, people want to do that. People want to talk to the characters. They want to feed the rage. Yeah, it does. I also have some spring rolls I'm going to eat. It's pretty nice. Maybe. That should be good. So yeah, I'm just like, okay, so we've got to stop feeding the rage bait, because I've just been thinking about this. Like, I know people are still going to do it, and there might be things that I think are ridiculous, but I feel like everything's kind of, the truth comes out every time, okay? It always comes out. Like, for instance, Elon Musk, his cars aren't that great. Like, there are limits. Like, there's lawyers. There are literally lawyers that deal with lawsuits for people that have driven defective Teslas. And because of how he's acting and all the things he's doing, his stock is kind of plummeting. And I don't even need to, like, go on and on and on politically about this and that. It's just like, what's happening is going to happen. So, if he wants to act the way he does, or anybody wants to act the way they do, at the end of the day, they're all going to have a big falling out. Just give it a few months. Like, remember how Trump and Giuliani were the best of buds? Just give it a few months. Anyway, besides that, politics can be very exhausting. I mean, I'm hoping things will be okay. Like, I don't want things to be bad or anything. I'm just hoping in a few months' time. Because, look, this is the thing about Trump. If you remember from the first time around, none of the people that were with him are with him now. He doesn't exactly have loyalty. Like, he has zero loyalty. Like, remember Mike Pence? Mike Pence told him that they needed to certify the election, and he didn't listen to his one loyal person. And then the whole January 6th thing, embarrassing. So just give it time. I'm just like, I want to go up to bat for these people. And anyway, that's just my thoughts on that. There's a lot of good content in the world. There's a lot of good things going on in the world. Yes, we should still be aware of things that can happen that are not positive. But I do think certain powers that be, they love you to rage because they sell more stuff. Like, you can sell hats. You can sell cars. You can sell, I don't know, anything because of the rage bait. You could sell a podcast based on the rage stuff. Like, but if you just focus on, like, real information, that's a little bit more tricky, right? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not a big fan of rage. That's all. I'm so over it. But yesterday, watching the eagle. Watch the eagle cam instead. That's real. I love the eagles. Like those two eagles up in Big Bear that are feeding their babies. If you want to see something real, watch them. They're more interesting than all the rage baiters combined. Because it's very sad though. Here's the thing, like to just like somebody goes into a comment section and they just write like random things like it's basically been done before too. It's nothing new. Like in 2008, 9, people were doing that on this website called Hub Pages, but they were doing it on a forum. And then forums and blogs kind of stopped getting as much traffic, so people stopped doing those. And I used to do those back in the day, right? Because that was one way like people could, do a little bit of extra supplemental, just fun thing. I'm not a big content channel. And that kind of fell to the wayside because they didn't get as much traffic anymore. But back in the days, you had people that would go on a forum on Hub Pages and they would all argue with each other, and they would say real ragey things on there. Or they would say ragey things on comment sections and news articles, which I think a lot of companies shut down their comment sections because of that. Mm-hmm. That it's all kind of boring to me because I'm like, oh, well. It does, and it also has things that go in cycles, and it seems like right now we're in this other cycle where the aspiration is people want to be a little bit more to the right, whereas a few years ago it seemed like people wanted to be more. Things go in cycles, they really do. It'll go the other way again. But to be honest with you, I want to think about the Eagles. I was watching those Eagles yesterday, and they were just bringing me such great joy, and I can see why people become like scientists. I'm not a scientist at all, but I can see why they want to study animal behavior. It was just so fascinating, like to see how those eagle parents protect their young. And some people are like, oh no, we shouldn't have the camera because what if the babies die and that traumatizes the young kids? And I think that could be horrible, right? That could be really horrible, but also we have to remember that's life too. Like, I don't think we should not have the eagle cam just because something could happen. Like, this is the first time in years that they've had a successful group of chicks that are living. So I hope that they survive. I really do. I mean, it is snowing right now. The nest is 150 feet in the air. It kind of like shakes, but it just makes me proud to be like living in Southern California because I'm like, this is local and it's very cool. Oh, that's very neat. So you probably see all sorts of birds. I like to watch. I need to fix my one camera or get a new lens for it so I can zoom in and take pictures of the birds. I can do it on my iPhone, and some people keep telling me that the iPhone's better than the Canon Rebel that I have. These are just vegetable spring rolls, and this is a smoothie because I eat eclectic things. I wanted to make a meal, but I have to work late, so I'm just trying to eat something. So I don't have time to chop it because I need to go get ready in a few minutes, really. Oh, I love veggies. So these ones from the Dollar Tree, they're not bad. They're pretty natural ingredients. I've made them from scratch before too. That was a lot of fun, but like I actually made the wrappers. Mm. But I want to practice a little bit more when I make them, just because Last time I made them, I don't know, it wasn't exactly how I liked it, but my favorite food to make when I have time is like the lavash Middle Eastern bread, and to make the falafel from scratch, that's really good. You do that. I love food too. Mm. Food is energy. I see. Well, here's the thing. People act like being bigger is always a bad thing, but it's not really, because at this point in my life, like, are you able to do things? Like, I know a lot of people that might be technically bigger, but they're able to like lift heavy objects, they're able to walk a lot, they have a lot of energy. I'm more interested in having a lot of energy. And then I see a lot of women, like, and I remember this when I was like, even a few years ago, like, I was really obsessed, like, with all I would have would be like a smoothie and a meal, because I was really obsessed, like, with being this certain amount of weight. And for me, for somebody like me that's not genetically like a stick figure, that was just not joyful. And you need to have energy to complete tasks. And there's some women, like, they were on social media, especially like on TikTok recently, talking about how, oh, it's okay to be hungry because you need to like lose this amount of weight. But I know older women that have got osteoporosis and other ailments and things. And I feel like the obsession with being overly thin, like, look, be whatever size you want to be. But I feel like eating healthy, like, I see people that are eating healthy meals, and even I even saw this happening in the plant-based community, where some people were saying how they had to stop eating hummus and they had to stop eating nuts because, like, it was the difference between weighing 118 pounds and 130 pounds. And that's just not healthy thinking, in my opinion. Mhm. Yeah. It depends on what people want to do. I just think having energy to complete tasks is more important to me. And it would sound really crazy if you said, well, you don't need to fill your car with gas. You could just do like a quarter of a tank. That's okay. Well, nobody really praises them, because if our modern society does, but if you look back in time, like even in the Jane Austen novels, like a woman that was a little bit more curvy, like she was considered like beautiful. Like having a little bit of like curvature to your body, not that there's anything wrong with being skinny. Like that was considered beautiful in art, like a lot of art, like women were very I just think people should be natural and eat food. And like I'm kind of have a problem with our culture that is kind of going the other way. I don't think you should be 500 pounds. I think that's not healthy. But if you're active and you're eating food in a healthy way, like, I just don't think that's bad. But I'm more just about like food is fuel. It's enjoyable. It tastes good. What's wrong with food? Yeah, oh yeah, I like natural everything too. Like I'm not into, like, I've never had any plastic surgery. I've never had anything done because I don't want to. I've never had fillers. I've just been a natural person. Mm. No, it's fine. Like, it can be beautiful in many different ways. It can be beautiful health wise. Actually, to me, I know like that people say, oh, that's surface level, but I think it can also be deeper, because if you just are living your best life, like, you're going to be happier. There you go. That works too. Whatever works for you, you know. I did. The orange was really good. I feel like you must be a lawyer, logical. You seem very logical. And hi, Kevin. How are you doing? I did have a very good orange. Well, there's nothing wrong with that either. I'm just saying, I feel like you have the kind of thought process that you could do something like that, you know? Besides, you could always go back to school if you want. Who can afford to nowadays, though? It's expensive. I realize sometimes the walls of my apartment complex are kind of thin because a lot of times it's usually really, really quiet, but then sometimes apple, I mean, I do apple eating videos, but that's more like I have some apples in my fridge. My apple videos are more like in the fall time because I get a lot of apples off my mom's tree. So I have some apples in my fridge that are from the store, but they're not my favorite ones. So I'll still do one. But right now, the fruit that I have that's fresh is like the grapefruit from somebody's tree, oranges, and then I have some pomegranates in my fridge. So I'll do more apple eating videos, but those are more like I have a lot of them in the fall. Whereas in the winter, I don't have as many. And this year, my mom's tree didn't really make that many apples. Like the year before, we had a bumper crop. Like there were so many apples. That thing, her 3 trees were producing apples like bananas. But this last year, they overproduced the year before, so they just did a little bit. So I didn't have as many apples. I have a lot of frozen apples though in my freezer, you know. Mm. You'll be a Craigslist lawyer. That's funny. I remember Craigslist. People used to like. It's so more regulated now, but it used to kind of be crazy. Like back in the days, people they would post on there kind of like they do. Like now, there's apps like Nextdoor where people complain about their neighbors, but back in the days, like people used to do that on Craigslist. It was just funny. Like somebody would write this long 5 paragraph essay. Yeah, it got kind of creepy. You're so right, but I'm just thinking about people who wrote the long 5 paragraph essay about their neighbor, like doing construction on the weekend, as if that neighbor was gonna like jump on Craigslist and be reading that. I'm like, I don't think those people are doing that. Or there was this guy, he was so ridiculous. Like he wrote this whole like paragraph about how at 5 o'clock every night when he got home from work, he wanted a young, attractive wife wearing a negligee and holding a beer to give to him. And I'm like, yes, it's like the Reddit now. It's just funny. I'm like, dude, like if you're on Craigslist, I don't think you're gonna like. Do you? a woman like that sounds kind of like a gold digger. Is she gonna be like, oh, it didn't sound probable at all. It just sounded ridiculous. Like, but maybe he did. Maybe he found his like true love on Craigslist posting that stuff. It just sounded so cliche. I felt like it was made up. I believe that was rage bait. I think a lot of things we see in society are to get a reaction. And if you're somebody that's kind of just like you tell the truth and you're just very even, like I'm a truth seeker and I tell the truth all the time. And I am who I present to be. Ooh, I don't think he got it. I think it was rage bait. That's what I think. But yeah, I don't know, funny times. But anyway, we'll do more lives. I always love coming here and thanks for watching everybody.